Welcome to Dawn English. Let me tell you the latest. The session in the Punjab Assembly for the election of the Chief Minister was supposed to start at 4 p.m. according to the decision of the Supreme Court that was given earlier. However, the session has not started yet. There's a lot of happenings, I'd say, that's going around within the Punjab Assembly. We also heard of some kind of scuffle between Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's elected members with the Sergeant at Arms. We do not know actually whether this actually happened within PTI and the Sergeant of Arms, but there is something that is going on. We do understand that there is a lot of charged emotions on both sides, whether the PDM government that is led by Hamza Shehbaz, I'd say, and on the other hand, we have PTI combined with PMLQ. As of now, we know that Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, along with Pakistan Muslim League CAF, that is Q, will be able to elect Parvez Elahi as the new Chief Minister. Keeping in mind the number game, they have that comfortable numbers that are required for them to elect their candidate. But what is going to happen, of course, all eyes are now at the Punjab Assembly session. Why is it not starting? What is the delay all about? All this is what we're going to try and find out. And of course, have analyzed by one of our senior journalists, Zaigham Khan. Thank you so much for joining us. Zaigham, how do you think this election is important in the political history, not only of Punjab, but also for Pakistan?
Nadia, we know that this election may or is going to change the government in Punjab. Well, if it changes or not in either ways, it is going to have a huge impact not only on Punjab's politics, but also on Islamabad's politics and at least near future of our politics and our government. If the government changes in Punjab, if sides are switched, and if the government goes to Pakistan Muslim League rather than Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, it goes into the hands of the PTI. It will be very difficult for the central government, for the government of Shehbaz Sharif to keep its grip on Islamabad. And he may also be forced to call early elections. So that is the significance. And we also know that the way Pakistani politics is being played, the kind of bitterness that has seeped into the veins of the body politics,
right,
and kind of tensions that have emerged at a time when Pakistan is on the brink of default, when Pakistan is facing one of the most serious economic, financial crises of its history. So it is quite a spectacle. It's very significant
right,
for the nation, for the players, but we are hardly talking about what is going to happen to the nation, to the people.
To the people as well as to the economy, which of course we know is in quagmire, and this is a huge challenge that Pakistan faces. Having said, when you say that PMLN, Zaigham, have been claiming that I don't know if they're just using it as a psychological tactic for the adversaries, saying that we may give surprises. If that happens, hypothetically we're discussing, do you not think that politically it's going to be PMLN's defeat too, especially their narrative that goes around like vote ko izzat do, because there's a clear mandate that PTI got in these by-elections. They have a chance, they have the numbers, they have their ally, that is PMLQ. So why not just let them comfortably do this election in the process that has been laid down by the Constitution? Why go after giving surprises, and why even work on those surprises?
The short answer, rules have to be abided by both the sides. It is not possible that one side abides by the rules and the other does not. Unfortunately, Pakistan's power players, Pakistani politicians, as well as other powerful people in our corridors of power, they have never played by the rules. And there are two kinds of rules in any country, in any democracy. There are written rules in the form of constitution and the form of laws, and there are unwritten rules that we call norms. So our leaders not only defy norms, they also like to defy written word, the constitution. In Pakistan, we saw some kind of movement towards agreeing on rules of game in 2006 when Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz and the People's Party signed the Charter of Democracy.
Democracy, right.
And they decided to play politics by the rules. But then Imran Khan came into, emerged as a new player, and he called the Charter of Democracy a mukmukao, a dishonorable agreement between two parties who are, in fact, both of them were thieves, and refused to agree to them. So we saw when the movement for vote of confidence was lodged in Pakistan's National Assembly, Imran Khan, he refused to abide by Pakistan's constitution. And this is what has been declared by Supreme Court of Pakistan, that Imran Khan's government, Imran Khan, and his party's speaker and deputy speaker
Right.
were defying the constitution. Then again we saw when PTI lost its numbers in the Punjab Assembly, then they again resisted and created problems in the assembly and even resorted to violence. It appears to me that PMLN has also decided that, look, we can't play by the rules, by the book, if the other party is not willing to go by them. And they are trying to, now they are also reverting to, to playing the game without the rules, and they want to give PTI a taste of their medicine, and they wanted to give them a tougher, fight.
But isn't this very unfortunate that, we have a constitution and, it is the duty of every democratic party to uphold the constitution rather than defy the laws, the rules written in the constitution just for, giving each other that, I would say, the medicine that you're talking about, And this is going to have, I would say, scars on the democratic history of Pakistan. Because I was speaking to one of the PMLN senators, and they said, if they're not going to abide by the rules, why should we? And my, argument was, if certain party, according to you, is defying the rules laid down by the Constitution of Pakistan, it does not give you any license to do the same. But this is how the politics have changed in this country, and this is not for the betterment.
True, Nadia. You see, in political sociology, there are two terms, a good conflict and bad conflict, or bad conflict is also called high conflict. You see, the good conflict is the kind of conflict that you see in the democracy, where a conflict is present, but this conflict serves interests of the nation, and both the players abide by the rules and play the game by the rules.
Right.
But then there is another kind of conflict which is called bad conflict or high conflict, in which there's a lot of poison, there's a lot of tension. The other group is dehumanized. They are called anti-state, they are called anti-national, they could be called, heretics or whatever. And this new kind of politics which is emerging all over the world in the form of populist politics. Now, one result of this form of politics is that those people who were not part of this politics, who wanted to play by the good conflict, who wanted to play the game by the good conflict, not by the high conflict, they're also sucked into the game. They realized that they could not remain in the game if they abide by the rules. They're also sucked into it. I see no way out unless both the parties agree to play the game by the rules, unless there is a new charter of democracy in Pakistan, unless there is a new elite consensus in Pakistan.
Right, right.
Absence of elite consensus in Pakistan has been one of our main misfortunes in our history.
We've had this Charter of Democracy. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Zaigham. But during PTI's government, when Imran Khan was the Prime Minister, I clearly remember when PDM was formed, one of the main factors was that everybody has to play by the rules, right? And at that time, it was concerning those in the power corridors, the other powerful players in the political scenario of Pakistan. But now, they have come down to the point that both of them, both sides do not want to follow the rules. Now, let me just quickly come towards the end of the show. I just want to know two most important things. One, I want your prediction. You've been looking at this very closely. What do you think is going to happen now? Is it going to be a comfortable win for Parvez Elahi, or is it going to be Hamza Shehbaz?
Well, going by the numbers, as you said, it should be a comfortable win for for Chaudhry.
For the Chaudhry.
And yes, for Chaudhry.
Okay.
But you see, even if PMLN is able to delay, you see, the count or win us one way or the other, I think they can't retain the chief ministership of the province for long. I think they will lose it very soon. So, in my opinion, you see, they should not have created this kind of problem. Even if Imran Khan and PTI is not playing by rules, they should have played by rules. While the mandate is very clear, PTI and the PMLQ has very clear majority in the House. I think they should not have used, if they have used, any unconstitutional or any unethical means to stop them from gaining power.
And we do remember that if this happens, if somehow Hamza Shehbaz is elected as the new CM of Punjab, we remember what Imran Khan last night had said. He was like really fiery speech that he was giving like a presser, which is, I always feel that his press conferences are press conferences come the address to the nation. He has been able to grab that time, that space on the electronic media as well as on the social platforms very comfortably and very aggressively, even after his ouster. He said that he is going to unleash all the PTI supporters, and he feels that the nation is now behind him on the streets to protest if something of that sort happens. Do you see that happening? And if that happens, hypothetically we're discussing, do you think that will change the political scenario, that it will be gone out of the hands of those who actually control the politics in Pakistan?
Isn't it amazing, Nadia, that this is exactly what Imran Khan did, first in the National Assembly and then in the Provincial Assembly. And when PMLN is trying to return the favor, he is threatening a Sri Lanka-like situation in Pakistan.
Right.
Now, Supreme Court of Pakistan has told us, it has given its verdict and told us what PTI did in the National Assembly was unconstitutional. What it did, it tried to stop the opposition, what was his opposition at the time, from moving ahead with the no confidence move and evicting him from power and forming a government. Now, you have a mandate only if you have majority, you see, or your alliance has a majority in the House. So it did not have majority in the National Assembly, and then later he did not have the mandate in Provincial Assembly. And he tried, you see, to stop the process in both instances. So he should realize what he himself did, and he should also admit to his own excesses. Now, what he can do, I don't think people of Pakistan will come out on the street in very large numbers and there will be a big turmoil. I think people of Pakistan like to punish their elected representatives on the ballot box.
Right.
I don't think they are impressed. They are impressed with either side, or they would be happy with either side with this spectacle going on at a time when Pakistan's economy is teetering on the brink.
Absolutely, absolutely. And lastly, I would like your 2 cents on Chaudhry Munis Elahi, because we know that all the political pundits had been saying 3 months, past 3 months, that, he's really finished the politics for his father. When the vote of no confidence was taking place and Chaudhry Parvez Elahi had promised to be on the side of this PDM government, and suddenly he take a U-turn and he goes and he sides with Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Everyone said that Parvez Elahi's son is actually taking his politics down the drain. But today he's got Parvez Elahi being fielded as the candidate for Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf for the slot of the chief minister. So his long innings really played well.
Well, Chaudhrys are, you see, players of the long innings because they are players of the referee. So they are here and they will be here, you see, for a long time to come. And when it comes to Nadia, when it comes to predicting the future, nobody has that crystal ball. We do not know. Even you see, sitting here, we do not know.
We do not know,
the
but I
future
know
of
that
any.
somebody would be knowing, and you know where the crystal ball is being, revolved around.
True, true. They know, I mean, what they are going to do, but even they don't know what the consequences for this nation would be.
Exactly.
They have done their experiments again and again at a very high price for the nation. I wish, I mean, they also admit that they don't know or that they don't want to know, and they want to move things organically and want to know when things emerge.
Right. Thank you so much, Zaigham Khan, for your time
Question.
on Dawn News. And we bring you more updates as to what happens in Punjab Assembly. Whatever it is, as Zaigham also puts it, whoever has the clear mandate should be allowed, according to the Constitution, according to the rules of the House, to elect their CM. PTI clearly has the numbers right now, along with their allied party PMLQ. What is going to happen? We already see a delay in the election. Why is the delay? What is causing the delay? Once the bell, I also had information that the bells had started ringing somewhere around past 4 p.m. But yet the assembly hall doesn't have the required number probably. What is delaying the session? All this in few moments from now.